So we're finishing up this card now, and the last piece we need to add is the contact information. I have a few things to show you regarding paragraph formatting, so let's dive in and add that information to these cards. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and grab the type tool, and because I have several lines of text that I want to create, area type is the best choice. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, in this lower left corner, I'm just going to click and drag to create an area type object. And I'm going to go ahead and type the client's information here. So the owner's name here is Tommy Price. And then I'm going to hit return. And his title is, he's the owner. And then I'll hit return again. And then I'm going to put his email address. So I'm going to type in here tprice@sessionskate.com. Now, for the font that I'm going to be using here, this is another Typekit font that I've already activated. And I'm going to go ahead and open up the paragraph panel. I'm actually going to go to the window menu under type, and I'm going to choose paragraph. But actually first, we're going to use the character panel, which is also in this group. And I'm going to change the font here. I'm going to filter this to show the Typekit fonts. I'm going to use the font which is called Proxima Soft. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that one. And then what I'm going to do is the owner's name, I'm going to set that in semi-bold. Kind of make that stand out a little bit more. And I'm going to change the point size of all of this to 10 point. And I'll change the leading to 11 point. And I think that looks pretty good. Now, I'm also going to come up here to the swatches panel, and I'm going to use this nice purple, the violet swatch. And I think that looks good. That might be a little light. Let's use the dark version. There we go. That stands out a little bit better against that tan background there. Now, you could decide later, maybe it would look even better if we go with white, and maybe that'll stand out even more. But for now, maybe I'll use the dark purple swatch, the dark violet swatch, and I think that looks pretty good. Now, if we switch over to our paragraph panel, keep in mind that the paragraph panel formats content at the paragraph level. And so, one of the things that it allows us to do is certainly change the alignment of our text. I'm going to go ahead and select all of this. You can see we can align this to the center, to the right. We can justify it. We can justify it center. And because I have hard returns in here, the justification isn't really applying to this text. But I'm going to keep this aligned to the left for this example. Now, you also have a left and right indent that allows you to indent the text from the left edge of the frame and or the right edge of the frame. And then you can also, if you wish, and this is more applied to body type copy, you can also apply a first line indent, which is only going to indent the first line of a multi-line paragraph. Now, the one thing I am going to do here is I'm just going to separate the title from the information. And so if I just click anywhere in the owner's name here, I can go to the space after field, and if I increase that, I'm just going to add a little bit of extra space between the title and the information. And then I'll actually highlight the owner's name, and maybe I'll make that a little bit bigger to make it stand out. So maybe I'll make that 11 point. And I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and close this, and what I'll do is switch to my selection tool and just kind of reduce the width of this frame as much as possible. And I can even double click on this adornment at the bottom to shrink the height and basically turn on auto fit for that frame. And we have another person that we need here, so I'm just going to reposition this. And I can use my arrow keys to nudge it if I want to. That looks pretty good. And now I'm going to hold down the Option key or the Alt key, and I'm going to drag this over to the right-hand side. And once I get over there, that'll make a copy of this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the name. The other person, these guys are brothers, and I'm going to change this to John. And he's not the owner. His title is Gearhead. And I'm going to change this to J Price, and then that'll be his information. And then to make this look more balanced, I'm just going to select all of this. And although we can do this in the paragraph panel, we can also do this down here in the properties panel or up here in the control panel. I'm going to change the alignment to the right side. And now we have the text in that area type object aligning to the right. So that looks balanced, and we have everybody's information, and that looks pretty good. And so with some clean, legible text added to the card, the consumer will be able to easily contact the skate shop with their skateboarding needs.